gotta go do my
Welcome back to another episode. So today's book is book 18. Book 18 is what, Chris?
book 18 is let me share my screen. Hang on just a second. Can you see that?
Yep, I can see it now.
Perfect. Book 18 is called The Biggest Bluff: How I Learned to Pay Attention, Master Myself, and Win, by the author Maria Konnikova. The book is about man, I think first off, I think I'm just a sucker for these kind of books in general. Like I am just such a sucker for these. It's the type of book is she's a journalist and she infiltrates a world that she doesn't know as a complete novice and newbie, and starts to try to figure out how to learn this stuff in order to set some sort of a goal of to become proficient at whatever she's trying to do in this new world. So in this particular world, it's Maria Konnikova is a journalist, and she decides she wants to try to become a professional poker player. And she, before she even started this journey, she didn't even know how many cards were in a the number of cards are in a 52 card deck. Like she literally didn't even know what, even to that basic level, let alone know how to play poker. So she was starting as a complete novice from scratch, and she journaled her way through this whole entire process, and hired some expert poker pros to coach her through this. And she slowly but surely immersed herself in this world, and with the goal of making it to the World Series of Poker, I think, if I remember right, and competing in that, and she did, and she ended up actually becoming a pretty damn good poker player, and actually ended up winning a large tournament, like an actual professional poker tournament at one point in time. And I think she might still actually be a professional poker player now. But it's a really interesting story. So the whole journey is just about the lessons that she learned about herself through poker, basically, along this whole entire journey. So that said, the reflection title of this particular reflection is Less Certainty and More Inquiry. And that actually came from one of her coaches that she hired. His name is Eric Seidel. And if you know anything about the poker world, Eric Seidel is one of those OGs that are, like one of those just poker royalty kind of guys. He's been around for forever. Like he's just so methodical, and there's no, he's seen everything, done everything. He is like one of the most world famous poker pros that are out there.
He's like a Tiger Woods poker.
Kind of. I wouldn't call him like a Tiger Woods. It wasn't. I don't think his success has ever been that meteoric. Probably more of like a Fuzzy Zeller, or like a Lee Trevino or something like that. One of those guys that had a great career, that had really long longevity, that was very well known and respected throughout the world. Maybe not the best of the best of the best, but like one of those kind of just
one of the top.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. So anyway, as she was getting coaching and guidance from Eric Seidel, one of the key lessons that he taught her that kind of stuck with me in general was he would review her poker matches and her poker tournaments after she was done, and he kept telling her, less certainty and more inquiry. Meaning, in poker, I used to play a lot of poker, and there's a tendency to feel like, once you get over that learning curve, that initial beginner's mind where you're kind of getting lucky, and you start to feel like you actually know something, and you start to feel like you understand how people are playing and betting patterns and all this stuff that's going on. That's when it becomes a really big problem. When you start to actually think you have an idea of what's going on in this world, and you stop questioning and learning and growing, is when you get yourself into a lot of trouble in poker and in life. And I found a lot of corollaries there between those two things in particular. For me, in my own personal poker path, I started playing a lot when I was younger, and I loved it. It was something I was really into and passionate about, and I felt like it was something I could really be good at, and I was pretty good at it, but at the end of the day, I didn't have that perspective on life yet of having less certainty and more inquiry. I was more worried about being right and knowing things than I was about, that never ending quest to learn something new every single day, and to just always try to constantly get better, and to grow systematically over time. And because of that, poker beat me, man. Poker has it's the best thing you'll ever see in your life of the ultimate equalizer, because there is skill involved, but there's also a ton of luck involved. It's very much similar to life, like you can't, sometimes you just can't control it no matter what you think what you think you can. And sometimes it's about controlling your emotions and controlling yourself and really digging deep and being patient and continuing to question things and stop knowing stuff. So that's my overall reflection about my biggest bluff, and the lesson that I learned and how I try to apply that to life now. I mean, as you know, one of my core values is I don't know anything, and I think that's an important way to begin your life and to keep that in mind, frame of reference whenever you're doing anything. So anyway, yeah, love to get your thoughts.
So what's the question?
Oh, the question is, in what areas of your life could you use a little less certainty and a little more inquiry? And how could that help you?
So to answer your questions, everything, because like you say, we don't know anything. And if we do, it's
a problem.
It's wrong. And it's wrong because things always changing. It's so dynamic. Life is so dynamic. It changes every second. And so the moment you have an answer, it becomes obsolete. So your answer is not likely to apply to the new changes. So you cannot be certain. The only thing that's certain is history, because it happens already, but it's useless to us when we try to navigate life. So for me, everything in life is unpredictable. And the only thing we can control is how we react to it and how we take what we have and try to navigate as best as we could. And in order for us to navigate, we need to ask more questions. The more questions, the more information we get. The more information you get, the better chance of you of making the right decision in the right direction. So life is so uncertain because it's so dynamic. So for me, everything in life, because whether you say, hey, I have this $20 in my hand right now, well, it's going to be gone next time I see a Starbucks. Right. So it's never mine. It's right. So same thing with like building a business. It's, today I have nothing. Tomorrow I'm gonna have something, and the day after that I may not have it again. So I can't say I will have a business or I will have a relationship or I will have this or that, because we never know what's gonna turn out, and things could turn out so fast. It could turn so fast that you are having a nice meal and then suddenly the whole world collapses.
Right.
I mean, think about the time when I read your book. I Can't Imagine the book. You were going to exercise for that morning, and then you get a call from your wife's best friend, and that day just completely turned upside down, right?
Yeah.
So you never know, and so life is always uncertain. So I with the questions, and that's my answer to the question. As far as the more inquiry, right? We are less certain, and there's nothing certain. So I think because of that, we are, kind of following the natural, the truth, because the truth is we don't know. Right. And if you don't know, then you accept you don't know, then you'd be better off than thinking you know when you don't know.
Something I 100% agree, but what I struggle with sometimes is this is how I frame my life these days as well. The whole less certainty, more inquiry, keep questioning things, keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving, keep trying to, further refine your mission, your purpose, your core values, all those other stuff. Right. One of the things that I get a little hung up on though is why? Why do I want to learn? Like, I don't know. I know I have more fun doing this, and I know I have more fun questioning the world, and I know I have more fun. I mean, maybe that's the answer. It makes it more meaningful. It makes life more meaningful when you question more things. But like, at the end of the day, to your point, like, we're never going to know everything. And I don't want to know everything. And I don't think you want to know everything either. But like, it's like, why I know this is the right frame of mind, but like, but why is it? I haven't quite figured that out yet. Whenever like I get stumped when I start to try to put the pieces all together and put language around why it is the right way to go.
Let me ask you,
Versus,
what's the meaning of life?
I don't know.
Exactly. There don't have to be.
Right.
There's no meaning. Meaning that it is what it is.
It means
you
it's
want
to exist.
you want to exist. That is most, I guess, to a certain level, aligned with whatever you think, whatever you see in yourself.
I know what the meaning of my life is. I don't know what the meaning of life in general is.
Right, because I think meaning of life is subjective. So the why is subjective as well. There is no why. Is whether you say, I do this because it makes me enjoy it. It has nothing to do with why. You don't have to do it. At the end of the day, you know, like we said, everybody's gonna die. So if you build something for, let's say you build the space station and you have your name on the space station, but eventually that space station is gonna be gone and the name change and no one remembers you. So it doesn't matter. But all that matters is, do you enjoy the journey? The journey of what are you doing? That's why you're learning. You're learning because if you don't learn, you become bored. And when you become bored, it's bland to you.
Right. That's true. Yeah. When you know stuff, what's the point? Like, you know, it's boring. Yeah, you're right.
It is.
I mean, if it's that simple, then it's that simple. It's like, I have more fun questioning stuff than I do knowing stuff, because knowing stuff is boring. Like, you know, it's like, it's like the whole anti-library.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to sit and do nothing?
Yeah, it's awful.
I've told 30 minutes. I'm not asking for a day or anything. I'm asking for 30 minutes. Sit there and do nothing. Meaning don't drink, don't do nothing, like nothing. So I told you this before, is, you know, what is the punishment in the prison when you did something bad?
Isolation.
Yeah. You sent to solitary confinement, and people hate that. They couldn't even last 1 week.
Right.
By the time the week is ended, they have become mentally mad.
So we're supposed to question and explore. That is our
explore gives you joy. If you don't
opens
explore,
more questions,
then you know your life is boring. It's so boring. It's so bland that you don't want to exist. Your existence becomes your misery.
So the title of less certainty, more inquiry holds true then. I mean, I know.
That's why I say it's true, because you just follow the natural truth of life.
Yep. So stop knowing stuff.
You don't know.
Start questioning.
Because the thing is, it's not that. The thing is, people said they know. They don't know. They know what is in the past.
Agreed.
I guarantee you, there's no one has ever predicted the future. They say, "Well, I thought of it. I had some kind of premonition or whatever." That's just, they think they do, but they didn't. They don't know. So what they know is what already happened, and that's hindsight. That doesn't count, because hindsight doesn't do anything for you in life. Only what you do right now, that's your life, and that's right now. In the next 5 minutes, I don't know.
Yeah,
anything could happen.
It's really interesting. I know we're getting a little deeper into this reflection than beyond just the reflection, but it's interesting you say that, because like the only time that I ever feel unhappy or depressed a little bit is when I do live in the past in my mind. You know, when you're living in the future, you're living in a world of questions, right? Like and uncertainty, and it's more fun. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You know, the possibilities are finite in the past,
yes.
Right? It's already done. And that can be a little depressing. So maybe that's why we're so drawn to questioning.
To live in the present,
right? Or the present, planning for the future, not planning, but present. Thinking about what you could do for in the future, by asking more questions and
you do things that is good in the present for the future, but don't live in the future.
Right.
Because when you live in the future, you become stressed. You worry about stuff.
Right.
Let's say in the future, I want to build a very significant company. Well, I worry about how I should do that, or this problem, that problem that never even come.
It's
So
true. Yeah.
I'm focusing on something else, and whatever that happens in the present, I did not even notice. Whether that's my daughter's here and trying to get my attentions, or other things around me, or the nice windy breeze, or the cold of the snow, whatever it is, I did not even experience, because I'm living in the future,
Yep.
or I live in the past that doesn't can ever come back.
So
So
having
try to
less
live.
certainty, more inquiry in the present is
Yes,
the key. Yeah. Love it.
in my opinion. Yeah, you may have different opinion, but let us know if you do. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, because we don't know anything, right? So that's a good call out there.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good one. Thanks for tuning in and for learning a little bit more about the biggest bluff and having less certainty and more inquiry in your life. So we'll leave the question with you guys: in what areas of your life could less certainty and more inquiry help you as well? So something to think about, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Yep. Sounds good. Bye.